It started with fire. In the summer of 2025, videos spread across Chinese and global social feeds of people tossing Labubu dolls into flames, spooked by a viral rumor that the bug-eyed, nine-toothed elf was linked to the Mesopotamian demon Pazuzu. The doll's awkward mix of ugly and cute, snaggle teeth, spindly ears, a mischievous grin, made the claim believable enough to spark panic. Some influencers joined in, filming cleanses of their shelves. The clips were sensational, but they missed the real story. A character born from one artist's stubborn imagination and a company that turned niche art toys into a global retail engine. Labubu was born from the imagination of Hong Kong-born illustrator Kasing Lung. As a child, he moved between Hong Kong and the Netherlands, caught between languages and cultures. Drawing became his refuge, a way to speak when words failed. Years later, in Belgium, he built a quiet career as a children's book illustrator, becoming the first Chinese artist to win a national illustration prize there. Out of this long solitude came his Monsters universe, sketches that mixed fairy tales, folklore, and fragments of his own childhood fears. Labubu emerged from that world, mischievous, awkward, ugly cute, yet defiantly brave. By the time Pop Mart licensed the character in 2019, it wasn't some overnight internet meme. It was the culmination of decades of persistence, finally amplified by a global distribution machine. On the business side was Wang Ning, Pop Mart's founder. He grew up in a small city in Henan, watching his family scrape by on small hustles. After university, he carried the same grit to Beijing, opening a trendy goods shop in 2010 that looked more like a lifestyle kiosk than a future empire. For years, Pop Mart was just one more mall store chasing novelty. The turning point came when Wang noticed how collectors obsessed over Japanese gashapon capsule toys. Instead of chasing fads, he decided to create them, tracking down artists and persuading them to license their characters. In 2016, Pop Mart launched Kenny Wong's Molly Zodiac blind boxes, its first big hit. 3 years later, when Kasing Lung's Labubu joined the lineup, the company didn't just have another toy, it had its cultural lightning strike. The blind box model is simple and addictive. Buyers don't know which figure they'll get. Rare secrets can be as scarce as 1 in 72 boxes, and scarcity fuels desire. Fans line up for drops, trade duplicates, and chase the grail. It's gambling-adjacent psychology harnessed to character design. In the craze's early phase, resale prices for hot Labubus shot into the thousands of dollars. A human-sized piece even fetched about $150,000 at auction. Then Pop Mart scaled the feeling. The group didn't just sell toys, it built a distribution grid for pop IP. In 2024, audited revenue hit about $1.8 billion, more than double the year before. By December, the company operated 521 retail stores and 2,472 vending robo-shops worldwide. The frenzy did generate uglier scenes. In London, after queue surges and reported fights, Pop Mart paused in-store Labubu sales and redirected demand online. The company also had to wrestle with a flood of dupes. Regulators in China and the UK seized tens of thousands of counterfeits, warning of safety hazards like small parts that can break off. Pop Mart added QR code authenticity checks so buyers could verify the real thing. For Lung, the artist, the stakes were creative as much as commercial. Interviews show a steady thread, a cross-cultural childhood, deep reading of Nordic and Chinese myth, years of quiet illustration, and then, late, the lightning strike of mass appeal. Labubu isn't just a meme, it's how Lung refracts fear and mischief into something children and adults can hold. For Wang, the CEO, the struggle was different. Execution risk. When Pop Mart went public in 2020, analysts warned about dependence on 1 or 2 characters. Wang's answer was to build Pop Mart as an IP label, more like a record company than a toy shop, expanding into dozens of characters and pushing hard into overseas markets. That platform bet, not any single doll, is why the business kept compounding. By 2025, the scale was unmistakable. The global collectible toy market was estimated at $42 billion, and Pop Mart had become its leading player. The company's stock rocketed, briefly valuing it above legacy giants like Mattel and Hasbro combined. And yet, every rocket sputters. As the craze matured, secondary prices cooled. Indexes tracking Labubu resale values showed a sharp decline from their peaks, and Wang Ning's paper wealth swung with the cycle. The question became classic consumer math. Can the brand widen access without killing the thrill? Under the hood, the economics are what keep this story from being just a fad. Mainland China stores contributed billions in revenue. Overseas stores quadrupled in a year. Online channels through Tmall, Douyin, and Pop Mart's own sites kept compounding. There is also a geographic hedge emerging. By the first half of 2025, Pop Mart reported $1.95 billion in revenue, already more than all of 2024, with roughly 40% of sales outside China and Labubu accounting for about a third of the pie. That overseas mix is the company's release valve if domestic regulation tightens. The big question remains: can a business mass-produce serendipity? Labubu's creator has been answering with a pen for decades. Pop Mart is trying to answer with stores, vending machines, and a calendar full of drops. The next reveal is always one box away. If you found this journey as fascinating as we did, subscribe to Scale Decoded for more.